In local matters, we're following the Alabama Senate race featuring former Auburn University football coach turned Republican nominee Tommy Tuberville. He's squaring off against Democratic Senator Doug Jones, who won the Senate seat in a special election over Republican Judge Roy Moore in 2017. But a new poll out this week shows Tuberville with a 12-point lead over Jones with less than a month until Election Day. For more, let's bring in state government reporter for AL.com, Mike Cason. Mike, thanks very much for joining us. So Tommy Tuberville has never held political office, yet with President Trump's backing, he beat former Attorney General Jeff Sessions, who was trying to reclaim his old seat in the July primary. What kind of policies is Tuberville running on?
He's running as a very strong ally of President Trump, as a political outsider, which is what Trump ran as an evangelical Christian conservative, very conservative on social issues, pretty much sticking to that right down the line. But the Trump alliance is very much a part of his campaign, as it is for all the Republican candidates in Alabama.
Well, Doug Jones is a fairly conservative Democrat. What has he accomplished during his Senate tenure, and why is he struggling against a candidate who's not a known political commodity?
He has. I guess you would consider him a moderate Democrat. He has sponsored a lot of bipartisan legislation. He's done a lot to appeal to the independent voters. But his problem is Alabama is just such a strongly Republican state, and a state where the president is just extremely popular among Republicans. And it's in recent years it's generally been 60-40, a 60-40 margin for Republicans in statewide races, with Senator Jones' win 3 years ago being the rare exception. He was the first Democrat to win a statewide race since 2008 in Alabama. So he had an uphill battle from the start. From the time he got elected in 2017, he had an uphill. I think he knew he had an uphill battle to win re-election this year.
Well, Tuberville has refused to debate his opponent. Why is that, and what kind of media availability has he had?
Very limited media availability since he led in the primary back in March to win a spot on the runoff against Jeff Sessions. At that point, he pretty much stopped having media availabilities, would not debate Jeff Sessions, and he stuck with that. Policy during the general election campaign. And I think it's just he knows he's well ahead, or that's the thinking, that he's well ahead in the polls, and he just has nothing to gain by debating Doug Jones, who's steeped in knowledge on policy and, would probably do well in a debate.
So if that's the case, then, Mike, how is Senator Jones trying to capitalize on Tuberville's relative silence?
Well, he's certainly making a point of it, and he's making a point of his own accomplishments. I think he said he sponsored 22 bills with the Republicans that have become law, and he has tried to highlight the difference in his experience and Tuberville's experience. And the belief is, in the poll you mentioned that showed him 12 points behind, the belief is he'll do better than Joe Biden in Alabama, that Tuberville won't beat him as soundly as Trump will beat Biden, but that he won't be able to make up that complete 60-40 gap, the general margin for Republicans. That Senator Jones will make up some of that because of what he's done, because of some of the bipartisan legislation he's sponsored and is campaigning, but he won't be able to make up the full 20 points. At least that's sort of the speculation at this point.
That is a pretty big gap. All right. Mike Cason. Mike, thanks very much.
Thank you.